The Trump budget is looking very tight for certain government agencies, and one of those agencies is HUD. I'm Tim Black for TBTV. Early Trump administration budget would cut HUD funding by $6 billion, folks. That's a lot of cheddar, Bob. The White House is considering cutting $6 billion from the Department of Housing and Urban Development, according to a preliminary budget plan, reports the Washington Post. Public housing funding and federal grants for community development programs, which also include meal assistance, are on the chopping block. Can't have people eating. Got to cut some of that. Too many people are eating. Costs us too much money to help feed these people. The proposal will completely cut funding for the Community Development Block Grant Program, a program with support from both sides of the aisle that was budgeted $3 million for this fiscal year. HUD suggests in the plan that community projects could receive funding from non-federal sources. Non-federal sources. What kind of funding is that? So what Trump's plan is proposing is that we go to the states and say, hey, state, pony up to the, or belly up to the bar, states. But do states have the money? They don't have the money. And don't you be fooled, we have the money in our federal budget. It's just the way we allocate the money. That's the real question. The Public Housing Capital Fund would have almost $1.3 billion cut from its original 2016 funding budget under the preliminary plan, which would largely affect the ability of public housing authorities to provide vouchers as well as subsidized housing to local lower-income residents. All right. It's beginning to look like it's possible Trump wanted to put a black face on cuts to black communities. It's beginning to look like something that I believe that President Obama served very well, and yeah, I gotta bring it up, to put a black face on not implanting or not facilitating policies that would adequately address issues of black people. This is the same thing going on. Is it just a coincidence that the only black member of Trump's cabinet is going to be forced to cut black programs? I mean, I'm just saying, is that just a coincidence? It's true, he's cutting the EPA too. But this is different. Would there be cause of racism if it weren't Ben Carson? And can there still be cause of racism, even if it is Ben Carson? Come on, I believe once you get to a certain state in life, a certain position with a certain amount of money, notoriety, color doesn't become as much of an issue as it was back in the day. Can Ben Carson relate to these people at all? Or are we still going to go on the trope that back in the day he lived in a bad area, so now he understands poor people problems? Now, it's to note that the budget is still in its early stages. Maybe Trump will reconsider. The budget proposal was likely crafted before Carson started in the role as HUD Secretary, given the process and the deadlines. White House Press Secretary Sean Spicer said the document was far too premature for the Trump administration to comment on and referred reporters to the OMB spokesperson, John Swartaki. Okay, that's what they're saying. They're saying, okay, hey, this had nothing to do with Ben Carson. Carson's not his fault. We had these plans in place, and we may change these plans. And my thing has been, let's put pressure where pressure is needed to get the plans restructured, so to speak. This is where I need people to come out. This is when I need my rappers who care about the neighborhoods they came from. This is when I need your voice. I don't need you making videos of mocking, shooting Trump. I need you shooting some real hip-hop about HUD and about what's going on in these inner cities and about what's happening with special or with affordable housing. I don't want to hear people say the government shouldn't be helping you. The government has been a catalyst to lift white folks out of poverty for decades. This is what happened in the 40s, the 30s, the 50s. We pay into a kitty. Let's get something out of it. I'm Tim Black. Let me know what you think in the comments section. Do we sit idly by and allow this to happen, or should we apply pressure where it's needed to make Trump do what's right? I'm Tim Black. Find me on social media as Real Tim Black. I'll see you on the next one. Until we talk again, stay strong, stand tall.